Do you have University of Smooth rewards? Are you part of our frequent traveler program? Today on the University of Smooth, we are talking about hotel chains and sexuality, a marriage of concepts that everybody has been waiting for. How is it that women respond to incentives? This is what we're getting at today on our little lesson in intersectional dynamics. Some further deepening background in how women deal with men in their lives. We start with the fundamental value proposition. Male value, as measured by women, is based on protection, the ability to protect. We consider that primarily strength that expresses itself in a lot of different ways: physical, social, emotional. But there are a lot of different variations on the kind of strength that a man can offer to a woman. That is the protection value that she's looking for. Female value, fertility. Quite simple. Women pay for male protection with their fertility, which is to say their sexuality. So this is how the incentive structure is based. You can think of it as economic, but it's not really financial. So how do women respond to incentives vis-a-vis male value? This is where the hotel chain metaphor comes in. So we're going to go with a three-tiered system of hotel chains. You have your luxury level hotel chain, the Ritz-Carlton level hotel, brand name luxury level male protection, the luxury man. Then you have the mid tier level. We'll call it the Marriott, the mid tier husband level male protection. Then the lowest tier, the roadside motel. Let's, of course, start at the top. Luxury, high value men, Ritz Carlton luxury men are extremely valuable to women. And when they get their hands on such a man, they will gladly pay that man with whatever sexual availability they can offer. Women will fight each other over the opportunity to get access to a high value man. Now, we say mostly this is apex level status, looks, violence, game, and to some degree finances. But if you have just finances and you're otherwise unattractive, you have, say, some default status by virtue of your position in life, but you're not really that attractive and you don't have a lot of game, you don't have a lot of attractive behaviors, then you may end up getting what I like to call a comfort swap, which is to say, women will want access to you because of the resources that you provide, but it does not necessarily mean they want to give you that level of sexuality. But for most of those high value men, they will gladly surrender their availability for his value. But if you only offer resources, and this is why we always say you must focus on every part of our roadmap, get jacked, learn game, convert your talent to clout in order to represent a true value proposition to a woman. Because if you have really high level of status and game and looks and violence, then women absolutely will pay for that access. But which kind of women can afford that access? The Ritz Carlton woman, the woman with Ritz Carlton level sexuality, which there's a little bit of an irony here. Yes, tens don't just roll off the line when it comes to women, but every woman, when she is at her peak level of sexual market value, which is to say her early 20s, she's got a small window where she can afford luxury. And when women can afford luxury male protection, they will gladly pay top dollar in high level sexual availability for that level of luxury protection from a man. But when a woman can't afford that level of luxury brand name protection, or certainly can't afford even something remotely resembling exclusive access to that kind of man, she may want to go for the Marriott, the husband option. I know it's a bitter pill to swallow, but husband level access is not top tier access. This is perhaps it was at one time, but the incentive structure in our society, such as it is, does not reward husband level value with high levels of female sexual access. It doesn't mean that women are entirely, completely sexually put off by that husband prospect, but they are looking at a man with mid tier value when they themselves have mid tier value. So, this is the trade off that they start to make. This is what happens when a woman starts to prioritize stable life, family life, baby rabies kick in. On occasion, especially if a woman wants a child, it may look for a while like she is absolutely sexually available to the living end for you when she really wants a baby, just like she might be for that high tier, high level man at any given time. This sometimes is a temporary window that's based on a woman's biological clock and her own competing priorities. But for the most part, when she is looking at that mid-tier protection option, she will probably, if not in the baby rabies situation, default to the comfort swap, which is to say, sex will be a little more reluctant, a little less available, and a little bit more based in female comfort, even female love, but not necessarily female desire. It's tough. It's a bitter, ironic reality that a woman can absolutely love a man and want to spend the rest of her days, that is, the days that are beyond her peak fertility, with that man and still not truly desire him. But this is how women respond to incentives. When they can't afford brand name luxury protection and they're down to mid tier protection, they suddenly don't really want to pay for that level of protection with the same kind of sexuality that they were going for with luxury top tier male protection. This is the main focus of trade offs that you have to deal with, but it's also why we say build your own value, because even in this mid tier level protection where you're a Marriott man and she's a Marriott woman, if you know enough game and you stay on top of your physicality, you can create legitimate value and legitimate desire. We don't really do relationship advice here, but we will impress upon you that this is absolutely possible to generate desire when you have a good solid foundation of male value that does not have to be all the way up here. It's just our algorithm is designed so that you keep going as far as you possibly can in building your own value. Last option, of course, the tragic, sad, invisible option, the roadside motel. If the only protection you can offer is the default, you are actually a man, which is to say you have male biology, but you don't have legitimate male value. The only women who will want anything to do with you are women who are in desperate situations. And in those types of situations, they will only want you for as long as they need you. And it may be just for a night. It could be just for a car ride. And if she can use the comfort swap to avoid actually paying with her sexuality, she definitely will. This is why we always impress upon you. I know it's not easy for men. Some men have advantages and you may not, but if you put in effort, you can do a whole lot to get out of that invisible tier of value. But you must understand that if this is where you are at, this is how women will respond to you because they are not seeing a value proposition. It is your job to build your own value. Some of this is out of your control in terms of opportunity, but if you do what you can, you will maximize from whatever base you started with. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, and you know where to focus your efforts. Right there on that Marriott tier level of value, or dude, put on the Ritz and just fucking, 9 hours in the gym and then get in that recording studio and start your SoundCloud album, and the sky's the limit. Take care.